I'm often asked, why did you decide to become a writer? How did you decide to become a writer? How did a little boy growing up in the San Fernando Valley of California decide that he wanted to try to write stories someday? And I think the answer to that for most writers is that very early on in their childhood, they formed a love of stories, a love of stories. For me, it started, I was a TV kid, and my favorite cartoon character, I loved cartoons, was Huckleberry Hound. And I think I first got into stories following the adventures of Huckleberry Hound, who seemed just so low key and laid back and able to make it through life. And that's what I wanted to do. Next, being again TV watcher that I was, I loved movies. And I used to watch incessantly movies on TV, especially adventure movies. I loved Tyrone Power as Zorro and Errol Flynn as Robin Hood. So I think the stories of adventure really got into me. And then after that, when I started to learn how to read, I got into classics illustrated comic books. Man, I love those comic books, and I just ate them up. They gave me an education in world literature with pictures. From there, I graduated to Hardy Boys, started reading a lot of those books, and loved the covers. The first real book that I remember reading and just getting into, so that when I got home from school, I didn't want to watch TV. I wanted to finish this book, was Tarzan of the Apes by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I just love the feeling of falling into that world and wanting to know what happened next. A little while later, I totally got into Gone with the Wind. And then, a little later than that, I am going to confess, The Godfather. That was a book I couldn't put down. Commercial fiction. Anyway, all of this is a foundation for me. I think loving stories, wanting to become a writer later on, from junior high school through college, I was primarily interested in sports. So that was really my main focus. But I continued to read. I continued to love to read. I continued to love movies. I think that's the foundation. So probably the same for you, whether you're a writer or a reader. Your love of stories is what got you started.